Hello, everybody, and welcome to Last Man Standing. I'm Dan Hollifield, and this is the late night What Are We Doing Up at This Hour show. And I really don't have any really pithy remarks tonight. I should have written something down, but I didn't. And I'll try and improve that, but it's highly unlikely. So let's just bring in our two guests here tonight. Guests, they are our regulars, Bill and Josh. Hello, guys, and welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here. We had a great time on Stupid O'Clock, and
And we learned a few things.
yeah, we went international. So
It could have been Stupid Sesame Street, as far as we know, or Stupid Electric Company.
well, hey, you guys. Yeah.
Hey,
I love the Electric Company because, yes, it had
Rita Moreno, yeah.
Rita Moreno, Bill Cosby, Morgan, almost said Morgan Fairchild.
I thought you were going to. Yeah.
I come this close.
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
Morgan Freeman, not to be confused with Morgan Fairchild, and it had Spider-Man in it. I don't know if you remember the little live Spider-Man segments.
I do indeed.
Yep.
And it also had Fargo North decode.
Yep.
Yep, it sure did.
Yep.
But
in my childhood, we would come home from school, and I was still in high school, and this was still going on. We'd come home and watch Sesame Street, Electric Company, and then about 4 episodes on different channels of reruns of Gilligan's Island. And I got extremely tired of Gilligan's Island after the first couple of years. Not because it was bad, but just because it was in syndication and I had already seen it so many times. But my brother and sister were still enthralled by it, and my parents were both at work, so I was babysitting basically. So just let it pass, just let them have their fun, and then every once in a while there would be a station from North Carolina we could pick up that would have reruns of Dark Shadows, which was a very wonderful horror sort of soap opera.
It used to come on in North Carolina. It used to come on about 3 o'clock or 3:30, something like that.
Yep. Now I remember when it was still in production. That was the time that it would come on.
When they were still new.
When they were still new. Now I'm talking about once it had gone into syndication.
Oh,
and
okay.
The channel that we were picking it up on here in Georgia was from North Carolina, and it was one of those channels where we couldn't see it unless we rotated the antenna exactly to the right point and the weather was right at the same time.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was basically CW back then. But
Well, it's one of those things where this was before, cable was available in cities, but we were out in the middle of the country. So we had this great big, huge, tall TV antenna with a motor on it to rotate the antenna. And we just some days when the weather was wrong, you could spin that antenna around 360 degrees one way and then 360 degrees the other way and still not be able to pick up the very faint channels that were low power, but there were about a dozen different channels you could pick up that were either close or very high power from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. Occasionally you could even pick up something from Florida, but the weather had to be right. And I grew up on a farm. We had to go out and do our farm chores, pull weeds, tote rocks, and whatnot, whatever, depending on the time of year, what was necessary to be done. Uh, in the summertime, we had to go out and water the tomatoes and stuff with buckets of water.
We had feed the tomatoes and water the pigs.
We didn't
Well,
water,
when
we didn't water pigs. We killed the pigs.
oh. Yeah, I heard some story about some feral pigs. I'll tell you about in a little bit. But to finish up on the Dark Shadows thing, we had we would get out of grade school, and on the one particular day of the week, we would have Cub Scouts meeting right after school, and the woman who was the den mother, we drove her nuts because we would not start the meeting until after Dark Shadows was over with. She had to allow us to watch the whole episode of Dark Shadows, and then after that we could start our Cub Scout meeting and that, but not before. So anyway, and there's Sean Sullivan, and wanting to know what's up, and I will say this is what's up, Sean. And do you want to know what's down now? Because we can tell you that too.
Yeah, real quick.
I heard a story, Max Armstrong, during the Noon Farm Report. They were talking about how invasive feral pigs are and how bad it's gotten. Of course, how they just destroy crops. They go after cattle and small animals and people and everything else. And then they went on from the feral pig story to the black vultures story. And supposedly they're protected.
Yeah.
But because they're actually going and in some instances killing cattle through, I'm trying to think of what department that is, but you would basically get a tag
BLM.
to be able to hunt and destroy these black vultures when they're doing such things.
Oh yeah.
And you can kill, I think it's up to 3 of them, if I remember correctly. I should have paid a little bit more attention to it, but the 100 odd some thousands of feral pigs that are causing all kinds of problems for people yearly said that was taken from a study that was done in only so many states.
Yeah,
I think it was like nine states out of 36 states that have problems with feral pigs.
But I was about to say, I think that was back in the 70s when they did that. We have problems down here with them.
Well, this is a recent study, but they didn't do the study in all the states that have problems with them, like only 8 or 9 out of the 36 or 38 states.
Well, down here we can shoot them year round. So
yeah, they're not protected.
Yeah,
the black vultures, and I know back in the 60s it was California condors got onto the protection list.
Well, that's California,
and I'm not sure if they're in the vulture family, but they sure look alike.
Yeah.
So how close to you do you have feral pigs?
Oh, they run all the way down through here. So.
Well, and so you have your dog out there. How concerned do you got to be? Do you have to stay out there with the dog the whole time because of maybe a feral pig jumps out of a tree on top of them, or?
Well, I mean, main thing I'm worried about down here is coyotes. So,
Well, we're worried about that up here too. We got that left and right.
yeah.
And
I really don't worry about the pigs because they're gonna have to dig up under the fence. So,
and the thing they said was the whole origin of feral pigs came from domesticated pigs that were let loose, and I guess they reproduce in a big time way.
oh yeah.
So, as Bob Barker would say, spade and neuter your feral pigs.
Yeah. Spade and neuter your pet.
Well, keep your pets inside and away from the feral pigs, but
Yeah.
anyway. But I remember you talking about them before down there, and that's just something I can't conceive. Of course, see them on TV. I remember watching an episode of the Waltons where feral pigs chase a couple of the Waltons girls up a tree, and they were scared until the boys came and ran them off. But I guess some of them get pretty hefty.
Yeah, they're down here. They can get up 300, 400 pounds. So
if you see a 400-pound pig come snorting and drooling and running up on you like a locomotive and all that, I think you may be running up a tree too if you're not heavily armed.
I was just about to say that.
I see the sun. It looks like it's going into an eclipse or something. Oh no, that's your light. I'm sorry. You really need that selfie stick. I'm here to tell you.
I'm waiting on it. So Dan might be having an old man's moment right now.
Well, he got that little refrigerator in there next to him, but he doesn't have a hail pail there by him.
I was about to say he didn't have but 6.
And I know Josh doesn't know the story about the hail pail. I don't know if Sean does or some of the others. Most of the Rising Tide people know the story. We have a author friend, Amy Hell, and go check out her work. She's got her own Facebook page and YouTube. She's got a lot of good books for sale. She was in a show one night, and I can't remember whose show it was. And she just, Mother Nature called, and she had to answer, and it was affecting her in a rough way. So when she finally did go answer, anyway, that we're gonna go and wait on her and come back. And then somebody said, well, you need a bucket or something there by you or whatever. And then the next thing you know, somebody said, hail pail. Sean, give me just a second and I can throw you that link. Let me get into the right thing here. I think I have you as a Facebook friend. So let me check here. And so when was the last time that you saw any feral pigs around there?
Oh,
down your way?
Shit, yesterday.
Okay, Sean, I just sent the link to your Facebook Messenger. It should show up in a minute, and I will do one for Chris too, although I think that he probably can jump in on the stupid o'clock thing and get it, but I just sent him one too. So
I think he's at work.
He might be. I don't know. So I just seen the name, and I just go ahead and do it. And if he doesn't need it or can't use it right now, then that's fine.
I'm gonna say I can't send links. So.
And Dan just said my electricity went out and I'm out of the show.
Well, you got control. So,
oh God. No, I don't have control of anything.
You in control. So.
So I'm replying to him.
Send invites up. I might need to look up freaking weather.
Okay. Okay. All right.
How's the pair looking at just snow?
Joe Dog's got snow?
No, I was up there looking at your weather.
Oh, my snow. We don't have any.
Yeah, I was about to say y'all don't have nothing. And as far as I know, he don't have nothing either.
And now Sean's telling me that for some reason he cannot click on the link. Let me send it again, Sean. This is the link in the stupid o'clock. And
send him the last man standing.
Oh, maybe I sent the wrong link. Hang on.
Hey!
Okay, there's Chris.
Dan's had a power failure.
Yeah,
he was.
Sure, Chris.
I would have been in earlier, but I got the V mixed up with a Y.
You good, buddy? Joe Dog, glad you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wore out. I did a bunch of traveling, so I dozed off and on during the stupid o'clock show. When I woke up, I started interacting.
Was it that boring? Was it that boring?
No, it was.
There he is.
I was just that tired.
Hey, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
I got it to work.
Good.
I was just that tired.
Chris woke up and started speaking Indonesian for some reason, and he can't figure out why. Chris woke up and started speaking Indonesian.
Okay, somebody's got an extra.
Chris woke up and started speaking Indonesian.
Okay,
I hear an echo. Sean, Chris.
Somebody got their phone on? Because I got my volume all the way down on my phone.
Yeah, I've got mine.
Mine's all the way down too. Chris.
Somebody got their phone on? Because I got my volume all the way down on my phone.
Yeah, I've got mine.
Mine's all the way down too. Chris.
Somebody got their phone on? Because I got
oh boy.
This is my laptop, but I've never had a problem with it before.
You got earbuds in, Sean?
Oh, I just muted him down. I think it's feeding back through him. Do you have the show open in another window? Just muted him down.
Oh, I've got it open in another window. Give me just 1 second. Oh, I've got it open in another window. Give me.
I think I got it.
Oh, I've got it open in another window. Give me.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, I'm working on it.
I think we lost Josh.
Nope.
Nope, Josh is back. I think we lost Josh.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's Sean has the show open in another window.
Yep, I took care of it. How's that?
That's a lot better.
All right.
Sorry.
Lower your camera, Josh. There you go.
Yeah.
your ceiling light was glaring on you.
Did you say Dan lost power?
Yeah, their power went out about 10 minutes ago, according to Lindsay. And he can't connect to the internet. He'll be back as soon as he can, so they must be on.
There shouldn't be no storms over there, though.
And he says he's sorry, hopes to be back online before the night's out.
I was about to say, it should be no storm, but
May not be storm related though.
yeah.
Could have a brownout.
Give it Southern Power.
I'll be right back. I gotta do something real quick.
All right, Jeff. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing absolutely nothing, but eating M&M minis that I bought for my 13-year-old niece's stocking stuffer that I made up for, but somehow they didn't make it in them.
I understand.
But she got plenty of other candy and homemade Christmas cookies and all that. So,
all right, I'm back. I was just ready for bed too.
Yeah, me and you both. Chris,
I can't wait to see all of y'all again.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Like I said, I got back late, early this morning, like 3 a.m.
Hey, well, I was about to some storms came over there, didn't it?
Oh, I got to travel through some really fun stuff in Atlanta last night.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bad place to go through some really fun stuff.
Yeah.
It was fine through Columbus, but once I got up towards the airport, it started getting interesting. When I got north of the connector, it was really well. When I got on it was about the time I got on almost where the connector splits back into 75 and 85 on the top end. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So do you go straight through 75 or do you take the bypass?
I normally go straight through. Every now and then I'll take the bypass. The connector wasn't bad the time of night I went through. I actually, when I went down, I had more trouble than it took me over 2.5 hours to get from the top side of Atlanta, there around Kennesaw, to the rest area at I-475.
Wow.
Oh, bitch.
I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
well, just think if you was traveling this weekend and now what you might be going through.
Right, I
Normally, I go through straight through.
Y'all gonna have it Saturday night. Saturday night, y'all gonna have it. So
Saturday night we're gonna have some what?
more weather.
Yeah, more bad
I
weather.
don't doubt it. But normally the most it takes me is to get on a fairly bad traffic day going through Atlanta. It'll take me an hour and a half tops to get from the top side to the bottom side. We're talking from Cobb County to Henry County. And like I said, it was over 2.5 hours. And it didn't ease up till I got to the 475 rest area.
Mm.
And they've got 2 buildings there with restrooms, and the newer one they had closed. So they only had 1 building open. And the traffic light was almost filled to capacity. And it's fairly big traffic light there.
That's the one at Forsyth, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the one right before. It's the one right there where 75 splits off to 475. It's right before you get on 475. I call it 475 rest area because it's right there at it. So anyway, it was entertaining. After I got through there, it's fine. I went to see my niece in First Stop in Warner Robins. They've got a Buc-ee's down there too.
I'm about to say you outran it, so.
And then on the way back, right before I got home, I stopped at the Buc-ee's there in Calhoun. And I didn't think to look on one in Warner Robins, but the one in Calhoun, I looked at the numbers on the pumps, and it ended at 260.
Damn.
And it's not even one of the bigger ones. I hear it's one of the smaller ones.
Yeah, I was about to say it. We was watching it last night. It'd probably be EF1, EF2.
Oh, so Josh, you were telling me about the one that went 40 miles north of you and hit a high school and a hospital. Did you ever find out any more about that?
I have not looked at it, but it did go through Winfield. It was a EF2. So the one that went south of me was just 40 miles south. That was probably going to be EF1. So.
A lot of damage, or was
Yeah, a lot of them.
No fatalities, though?
No.
Okay, well, that's good.
Was the damage pretty well spread out, or was it concentrated in certain areas more than others?
No, it was spread out.
Okay, well that's good, I guess.
And so I heard this has been 3 or 4 days ago that they announced on the radio an infant had died from Murphytown, Kentucky?
Maysville.
The candle factory.
Mabletown.
Yeah, Maysville took the most damage.
Oh, Maysville, yeah. So then that fatality of that infant then brought him up to 86, I think.
Yeah, but
total.
Bowling Green took a lot of damage. It was a 200-mile swath of damage. I mean,
yeah.
It said it traveled, well over 200 miles on ground. You think of something coming down, tapping something and popping back up, or doing a little strafe and back up. This went down, stayed down, and went straight across for 200 plus miles.
It basically stayed down the whole track of the Tuscaloosa tornado from 2011. So.
Yeah, normally tornadoes do a massive amount of damage, but it's usually confined to a small area. Reason why hurricanes usually do more damage is because they stay and it's spread out over a large area.
Yep.
Oh, there's that.
Dan's got his mood lighting on.
Oh
Dan's
my
back.
gosh, he's back.
I think he does. He's back probably by cell service. It's your robot-y.
Yeah.
Yep.
The way the lights are, looks like Dan's in witness protection there.
Yeah, I was about to say, FBI come visit you.
He almost reminds me of a character on Babylon 5.
That's a little better.
Big brother is watching you.
He's out of the shadow now.
Now,
You got I ain't gonna say it.
It sounds like a robot, Dan.
Yeah.
You sound like a robot, but you look like the ghost of Christmas past.
And you're not moving at all.
Yeah.
Right.
He jumped back out. All right, I'm listening, guys. If you have any issues or anything, just holler.
I did that.
Yeah, I'm missing issue number 27 and 28, and I would like to have one in near mint condition if possible. But anyway, enough of that absurdity.
Well, we figured you would be able to get that at the auction.
Well, and we are going to the auction tomorrow. There is a New Year's Eve auction, and Laura checks out on Auction Zip. They put photos on there, and the guy who runs the auction, I think, puts photos that are really, really bad on purpose just to get you to come in and look at stuff. But considering what she told me tonight, we may not be staying there very long. And I don't think there's so much of a weather issue tomorrow night other than overnight it's supposed to rain, but it's supposed to be like 57, 58 degrees tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening.
No, you got to watch the Alabama game tomorrow.
And not only that, you have to worry about people drinking and driving later on.
He's trying.
No.
Well, ISP will be out in full force tomorrow night on the highways. And they set up roadblocks actually just down the road from us. So.
All right, Dan, can we hear you now?
Copy. Dan.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can hear you.
Yes,
Okay,
you sound good now.
Yeah, that's better.
Well, apparently your phone provider is a crappy internet provider because you're very slow and...
Long as he's here, though.
Yeah.
Well, true.
If we can hear his voice, that's the main thing.
I'm on my cell phone. There is no internet. I'm going through the cell network, and we got like one bar.
I understand that, Dan.
Well, you're doing good for one bar.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, do you know what caused the power outage? Did somebody hit a telephone pole or something?
Don't have the slightest idea. Looks like it's pretty widespread.
Well, that was me.
A substation may have went down.
All right, Dan.
About 500 households without power right now.
Oh,
wow.
All right, Dan, I'm listening. You guys carry on. If you need me to control anything, just holler.
Okay.
Joe Dog, if you need to shut this off whenever.
Yeah, Josh will drop out. Josh will drop out way before.
No,
I think he's about ready to now.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah, Dan's show. I'm just hiding in the background, playing produce, running the switchboard. So if y'all holler uncle, I'll come in and shut everything down.
if I holler Blackberry, you'll know.
All right. Holler at y'all later.
Y'all keep going as long as you can. I'll sit here and listen.
Well, over 500 people without power.
So,
there goes Dan.
There he goes again. Well.
Yep. Okay, but guys, I'm listening. I'll hear if Dan jumps back in, and I can bring him up.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Well, Sean, how are things up in your neck of the woods?
Well, I got calls from around the world seeing if I was in the path of the tornado that mowed down Maysville. Which I wasn't. I was about a couple 100 miles away from where it ended. And my brother was real close. And but he was fine. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of tore up shit down there. So
Yeah.
That, well,
Yeah.
that's what I said on the other podcast. Stupid Clock. I was telling them that this weekend I still got Kentucky lit up. I mean, it's
If I could
kind of
move
cool.
closer to a Wi-Fi tower that worked, I would do it.
Well, the further south that pushes down, the further it's going to affect you guys. So you'll feel what we're getting, and with the worst of it with us, Saturday, yeah, we got a lot of rain snow mix, and of course with stupid people out on the highways, that's going to cause some accidents, and that when they're not driving the way they're supposed to. But Sunday we go from about 46 degrees and drop down to a high of 12.
Hey,
Yeah, where are you?
Y'all talk about our stupid ass drivers and
Well, I'm in East Central Illinois. I'm about 8 miles west of Carl and Donna.
Okay, I'm in Frankfort, Kentucky.
my
Capital.
Oh yeah, you guys are definitely going to get it. I spoke with a friend of mine, lives down in the Ozarks in Missouri, and they're gearing up for it.
I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So.
And it showed that one model pushing all the way down there too.
Thank you, Keisha. I hope you all are having a good night too.
Hey, Keisha. Bill, you supposed to be.
Dan is trying his ass off to get in there.
Hey, I give him credit. He is making an effort because somebody rammed a damn telephone pole or something went out.
It probably Dan. It probably Dan that hit that damn telephone pole.
It was one of those Indonesian flying squirrels that went into the grid and it knocked 500 people out.
Oh yeah, you missed that.
I don't believe I could hit a power pole with my lazy boy.
Probably Dan hit the telephone pole.
Hey Dan, it was one of them old timers that had that dipping stuff that when they spit it out, it sounds like a piece of metal going out and ringing up against something.
Oh man.
Well, actually, our local power company doesn't have any electricity to give anybody right now. They're knocked out too.
We don't have a backup generator? That's insane.
Damn.
So Dan, what's the temperature?
It's an EMC.
So
feels like
so
about
what's
65.
Is that what it's going to be through the night?
Oh, it's going. Oh shit! I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna raise up. But go ahead.
Till we get Josh's cold front coming through tomorrow, yeah.
The Alabama cold front.
It's all that cold air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico.
What?
Yep.
Alabama freeze.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Of course,
Well,
it doesn't
oddly
make
enough,
any sense.
Dan, can you talk?
Well, I've been talking. Y'all just probably hearing me in staccato.
Staccato?
No, we hear you fine.
Yeah, you're sounding good at the moment.
Well,
Josh can't hear you for a different reason.
Yeah.
Well, something must be getting better. I got 2 bars on the phone now.
Oh boy.
Do
I hear 3?
Can't remember when we had 5 people in this damn room.
It's been a while, but it's
might have to go outside the house onto the porch.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well, it's warm enough.
Because I know we've had Dan, Bill, myself, Nick Talker, and I think you on before, Josh.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but it has happened. There haven't been 5 of us on.
Yeah,
And then I think Sean.
I've been on multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had 7 at one time. It seemed like.
Sean, you still need to. The next time you enter the studio, before you enter it, you need to take that S out between the A and the N.
Yeah, I know. I see that every time, and I'm like, damn it.
Susan Sullivan.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, you look like a.
Say something, Sullivan.
Dan, the first time I ever started coming into the green room, I had my older tablet, but I had Wi-Fi from the neighbor across the street from where I used to live, and I had to get a Wi-Fi signal. I had to sit on the front porch. So in the summertime, it wasn't so bad, but then the sun would go down, and I would get darker and darker and darker, and I'd be darker than what you are right now on there. Just simply because I couldn't. If I went inside, there was no signal. If I was on the porch, then it was typically good enough.
I'm gonna hold that for tomorrow night.
Dan, you didn't go to sleep on us, did you?
Or his picture froze up.
He just froze up.
Okay.
I'm still here.
He may have gone to sleep.
And
yeah, he's gonna sleep.
Chris, what are you talking about, Sean?
No, I'm not asleep.
Oh, you fixed it for him. Good job.
Oh, thank you very much.
For you, Sean.
All right, he's back again. Just let him warm up. All right.
Oh, his phone went to sleep.
Oh, he's lighting up. he's settling in for a while now. He's settling in for a while now.
Oh man.
Well,
be right back.
Go ahead, shut it down, J-Dog.
Well, if he had to go sit out on the porch, he had to do something to take care of the skeeters out there. So, light that cigarette, get that smoke going.
Yeah. J-Dog, go ahead, shut it down.
I don't think anybody going to see smoke signals in the dark.
No.
What, y'all ready to tap out for the night?
I'm here for all night, but
well, come on, Joe Dog. It's last man standing.
Well, I'm just sort of sitting here, playing solitaire. So y'all do what y'all want to do. When y'all say it's time to go, I'll say it's time to go.
Yeah.
Okay, who's all going to LibertyCon?
I am. I've got the badge paid for. Might as well.
Yeah, me too.
I paid for it 3 years ago.
Yeah, me too. Me and Janice both.
Yeah, we were one of the lucky ones to get in the 29 minutes and 13 seconds it took for it to sell out.
Yep.
That's about right. Yeah, Janice and I are on staff, so we got to get ours a little early.
Yeah.
So I'll pull you beer when we finally meet again.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Huh?
It's been too long.
Yes, it has been. Dan tried to get me to go to LibertyCon for years. And I finally went for LibertyCon 25 so I could see Larry Niven. And I've been going ever since. And
Larry Niven.
I cursed myself for not going when Dan first said, "Hey, you need to go to LibertyCon."
Yeah, well, we've all had some
these
of those
things happen
where somebody tried to get us into something, and we resisted. And when we finally took the leap, we're like, damn, why didn't I do this years ago?
And that's exactly how I feel. It's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it, Dan? At least 8 years before I finally went, something like that.
Yeah, but you
Ooh,
couldn't
you
help
missed out on a
the
lot.
first year you wanted to try because the river flooded your basement.
That's true. But I've been going pretty much every year since.
See, that's why I can't go because it's sold out so quick.
Yep. You have to know when it is.
What's the date on it?
What?
Too quick.
Last weekend in June.
No, it's middle of June. I think.
Yeah, they had to move it because of
Middle of June?
The first time I went, it was end of June, and
it was.
Janice and I actually used that as our honeymoon when we got married 3 years ago.
Well, I'm gonna use.
And then they changed the date, so we can't use it.
It used to be
End
the
of June.
weekend before 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, last weekend of June.
I'm gonna use Hallowcon as our 10-year anniversary.
So, Sean, was it the Kentucky River that overflowed into your basement?
I'm sorry?
Hell. That's a bad signal. I might not come to Hallowcon now.
Oh, good grief.
Was the Kentucky River what?
The one that overflowed into your basement.
In
I was
my
looking at a
basement?
map at Frankfurt, and the Kentucky River was the biggest body of water I saw in that area.
No, Kentucky, this year it has not overflowed.
Okay. I was talking about the year that you first tried to go to Liberty and you couldn't go because it flooded. I didn't know if it was the Kentucky River or another one in the area. Because I know you said you live in Frankfurt.
Now, about 13, 14 years ago, I had 2 inches of water in my basement. It may have been what Dan was talking about.
Yeah, he was talking about the first year you tried to go to Liberty Con. You couldn't because your basement was flooded. I was trying to determine if it was
most likely the one, yeah.
I didn't know if it was the Kentucky River or another river.
It is the Kentucky River.
Okay. Cool.
Right out. If you walk out my door, down the steps, and keep going downhill, you run into sand and a bunch of boats all summer long.
Oh, wow.
Sounds nice. I had a friend that used to live just across the Illinois-Indiana state line, right on the banks of the Wabash River.
Mm-hmm.
And a big old turn-of-the-century brick Italianate style house. Went over there to babysit for him one weekend, and they had propane for their heat. And of course, you know, propane is just super expensive no matter what year it is. And so they had the little space heaters, little electric heaters in every one of the rooms. I about froze to death that weekend, only to find out that they had a corn burner in the dining room. They said, "Oh yeah, we got all these bags over there next to this stove in the dining room. Why didn't you throw some of those in there and heat the place up?" Which it would not have heated up the whole downstairs, let alone the whole house. It might have heated up 2 rooms, have been about it.
Right.
But it was a beautiful house, but it was a big old drafty, much need of insulation.
Oh, I hear you, man.
But but they were up high on the banks, so, and not down low. And I've known people that had little houses down lower, and they would flood out in a heartbeat in the summertime.
A friend of mine down the road, where I got 2 inches of water in the basement, he had 4 feet of water in his living room, and
Lovely.
The garage was flooded to the hill. I mean, it was totally submerged. I'm one of the highest spots in this area, and it was the 4th highest flood on record that got me by 2 inches.
If the river rises to where it floods where I am, we have met a major disaster.
Chris will tell you, if the river ever gets up where I live, everybody's screwed.
It's probably an extinction level event.
Yeah.
Well, this is an uncontrolled, non-flood controlled river that I live on.
Yeah.
Joe, we all can't.
You're down in Chattanooga, aren't you?
Yeah.
See, it's a flood controlled river.
Yeah. Well, when it wasn't flood controlled, when they had the big flood of 1868, they've got an actual picture of it at the Tennessee Aquarium. You can see my heel still poked up out of the river.
Your hill's pretty high up.
It's 380 feet above the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the water ever gets up that high, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Well, I understand, man.
Well, we can't all live up on a big hill like what you live on there. You have the Sermon on the Mount.
No. I'll tell you, if the water ever gets up this high, Chris's house will get flooded way down in Georgia.
Yeah. Although mine's in one of the higher parts in the lower line area of the county I live in.
All right, I'm going back out. I'll let y'all.
Okay.
Not many people know.
I need to get out too because I need to stop talking and let my wife go to sleep. She works at Amazon, and she's got to get up at like 5 something in the morning.
I understand.
I'd love to chat with y'all all night, but kick me out of here, Joe Dog.
Just click leave studio.
Yeah,
I'll just close it out. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, all you have to do
Yep.
is leave studio.
All right. See y'all next
Have a
month.
good night.
Take care, Sean.
All right. Later, guys.
Yeah, 5 in the morning is a little early.
Quite early.
Gents, I think we need to go ahead and end the show, and we'll just call it a night. And hope I put power for the room tomorrow and drinking with the babies.
Okay, should I run outro 2?
Outro 2.
Outro 2? All right, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, Candice.